This is going to be a 16 player in-person tournament. Just making sure everything's synced up. But this is the tournament bracket. We'll try to get through basically all of it today or perhaps through tomorrow morning. This event is taking place at CampKart, which is in Missouri. So there are quite a few good Mario Karters here. Hey Gigi, how's it going? I'm glad this one's a little more in sync. We are trying to figure out the other one as well. Good job,
Let's go! Yahoo! Select map.
Good to start.
We good?
Looking pretty good now.
Are we good to start?
Yeah, go ahead. Oops.
Good luck, guys.
Yep. So we got Martin.
You're just not here. You're put down.
You're there too. Yep.
You know, somebody keeps telling me.
So it's the first lap of Luigi Raceway. Not as much interesting on the very first track, just a lot of left turns. As Martin stays back to get some good items. He goes ahead and gets a start early and uses the lightning bolt early to take a large lead. Arkyn still in second place though, although he gets hit by a green shell, which knocks him back to third. Martin up by quite a few seconds actually at this point. Looks like he has about a 6-second lead, although he does slow down a little bit with that hit. Golden Shrew helps Arkyn catch up with just a bit there. We're on all 16 tracks. This is a Grand Prix tournament. An in-person Grand Prix tournament. We're currently outside. Comfortable 9 points there. Oh, very close. Nice green shell for the save for 6 points. So it's 9-6.
Not, he should be. Zombie did. I did a lot. He didn't see my score. He wins as much as I do. Like, he plays mostly in the morning because he's kind of like when I woke up at 7 or 8, he's like I think it's GM for him right after me.
Turbo start for Martin as he pulls a banana, which is gonna be able to stop. The red didn't quite get there. Seems to have hit the fence. Spin out for Arkyn. Falls back to third. Martin off to a nice start, gets through the moles. And gets a 26-second lap exactly. That's going to be good for a 4-second lead early. 3 red shells for Arkyn. And some mushrooms. But not a great spot here to use the... Oh, both racers spin out at the same time. Arkyn's going to go ahead and use those reds. But really, he's starting to use those mushrooms. Martin's still with a decent lead. Luigi is close by. Bolt use by Arkyn. Oh, this is getting close for second here, but Arkyn dispels both AI drivers. It is 18-12. Martin with the lead.
Mario Kart's coming.
So this is the bracket. Quick look at that. It is a double elimination tournament, so
Not that my 4-year-old can play. Oh, it's cracker.
the big challenge in Koopa Troopa Beach is always, are they going to be able to hit the ramps? There's 3 of them. Big time save or big time loss, depending on how that goes. Martin makes it comfortably. Arkyn is having trouble getting in. He's just going to have to go around. Pretty nice margin.
Bring up my
Yeah, well, I am some interest.
last eating today.
Yes,
Oh my god, dog.
Hey Mario.
Alright, so big margin for Martin here. That's the thing. If those ramps, the computers aren't really likely to get back. Elias, or Arkyn's gotta make up some ground here. He's gotta make a ramp here to really come back. Martin decides, why not try to get that blue, but still a solid lead. There's nothing in doubt here. First place for Martin. He's going to get up to 27 points here. Arkyn does rescue second. It is now 27-18.
Yes. That's right.
Calamari Desert, the last track of Mushroom Cup. Martin's going to stay back and go for the 8th place item. He's going to roll for some reds. He's going to go get a star early on, but he is a little further back for the time being as he's collecting some better items. Arkyn in third as he edges out Luigi, going in the final item blocks of the first lap. Nasty spin out. Second and third. Okay, they're still second and third, but they flipped. Bad crash for Arkyn there as Martin has a second place star. Arkyn using his triple shrooms. Martin taking the optimal route here as he really cuts a lot of the track out with that second place star. Still has the mushroom. Arkyn uses star at the same spot, but he's got some ground to make up heading into the final lap. Lightning bolt. Arkyn pulls a red. This is a lot easier stretch to connect on the red. It didn't seem to hit. Well, it did get Luigi. It took a little while. Martin comfortably gets 9 more points here, as Arkyn's gonna get 1 point. Martin 36, Arkyn 19. Go ahead and skip the trophies and head to the next cup.
I'm gonna let trips go.
We're good.
I'm gonna let it go. Longer.
No, it's fine.
Mario Grand Prix. Select your player. Oh, select man.
My sister and I.
Same setup. Marking is Peach, but Arkyn here is going to be Yoshi instead of Toad. Both get the starting boost, as it's going to be a race to get the items here. Some greens, golden shroom. Martin gets by. Green shell almost get. Green shell ends up hitting Arkyn, although Martin also hit a vehicle. Third place, second place for Martin. Martin's got a second place boo here. Runs into a truck, which puts him back. But he does take a star. Meanwhile, Arkyn is in second place with the red shells. Does run in between the trucks and into one. Martin's star gets him out of the pickle of having a red fired at him. Lightning bolt from Arkyn. Arkyn does avoid the slip. Another crash into a truck, another bolt. As Arkyn takes second place, Bowser actually has pulled away with a little bit of a lead, although Arkyn is closing in a bit. Missed the items though, as Martin's gonna get a third place bolt. Triple shrooms. Can only use 2 of them at the moment for Arkyn. It's getting close. Martin aims the green shells, hits himself though, and the last one doesn't connect. Arkyn gets some bananas down. It looks like he's gonna hold with 1 lap to go in second. Martin's in third. Another crash into a car, this time from Arkyn. This is red shell. Martin's still got 2 more. Bowser's a little ways ahead. He's going to go ahead and fire both of them to try to get Bowser. He's got a third. He's going to fire that one as well. See if he can make some ground. It looks like they're not going to connect. Bowser's pretty far ahead. Arkyn in fourth. Another second place bolt from Martin. And then another bolt, this time from Arkyn, as we're seeing a lot of shrunken characters on this one. Twitch Turnpike is known for being a more challenging course because of all the vehicles you're trying to not just race against, but you're trying to dodge, and Martin does get 6 points out of it. We're going to see how the end here goes for Arkyn. Looks like falls just short against Wario.
You guys all look like those.
Oh, they're both.
Crap Ace of the Lamb, the 6th track of the game. Martin falls back to get a second place bolt. He's gonna go ahead and actually take the lead here and use it flat. Arkyn along with Wario, putting Arkyn all the way back to 6th place. But a bad spin out knocks him off the course, and then he gets bolted out of bounds. So some early bolt action on this one as well, but both drivers are back to first and second. One of the challenges here is obviously the snowmen. You don't want to run into those, but also the bridge at the end. The bridge is a really trap kind of place with items. It looked like Arkyn did avoid the green shell there. The triple reds. One ends up going into the AI. Arkyn fires off another red and another. First snowman hit. Martin is in first. Still ahead there. He's going to go ahead and use the boo just before a bolt. That was some good timing, some lucky timing. Arkyn does run into a trap there. Does stay on, does not fall off. Martin with a really big lead here on Luigi as Arkyn tries to go for second place. He does run into another snowman, putting them back to 7th. Barely avoids another snowman. But one more hit, looks like, oh, Martin actually almost fell there, but he does claim a win. 9 points. And then, doesn't look like Arkyn's going to get anything here. He's just going to try to get the best finish he's got, and that's going to be 6th place. No points though.
I'm mad. I have to get like.
I'm going to check in on the action. There are 2 matches currently going. The other channel is Spaced Cowboy 13. That's Jesse K running the other match. Gonna be running streams on both the whole day. And I put that there in case anyone wants to watch the other one. Choco Mound early. Early green shell hit. Choco Mountain, the scariest part is always this stretch right here. As you go into a stretch where the first part of the track, as Martin found out, I mean, if you fall off, you get pushed back. Although he didn't get pushed back, he didn't go back all the way, which is a good position for him at least. Arkyn in 4th, Martin's falling back because of that ball and of the crevice. Luigi actually having a kind of solid lead over both. It's kind of a pack race right now. Arkyn and Martin basically at the same spot. Martin's got a star. He did fall the last time. Looks like he's playing this carefully. He's going to get through. Still got that star. He's holding on to it. Our other channel, we've got MK64 versus Miro, which is also a first round match. First and second, this may be one of the better chances Arkyn has so far, but Martin does play the last turn safely. He's going to get 9 more points. He's been doing very well, not giving up a whole lot of points. Arkyn shelled himself at the line, and he passes Luigi at the end to get 3rd. That was a really interesting finish. First and 3rd. So we've got Martin, 9 points, and then Arkyn with 3. 60-23. Mario Raceway, one of the shorter tracks in the game, but it's definitely a very fast-moving one. A lot of back and forth turns. Arkyn with the early lead as Martin gets a little, well, he's trying to get a better item at this stage. He does get a star, which is a good spot for him because he gets to use it in the fairly optimal spot where generally a time trialer might use 2 shrooms. He's going to go ahead and take a lead here off of that star. How's it going, Fuzz? Glad to see you watching at least. It is a close race here. Arkyn just fell slightly behind, but gets a red shell hit. and actually gets another hit on Martin. Takes first place. Martin falls back to fourth, still has the green shell as he passes Luigi going into the final lap. So we'll see how they played. Oh, and a third red shell hit Arkyn on Martin as he has a lead going into the end here. This is going to be close. This is going to be close. Boo. Oh, and
Say.
Arkyn takes the win off of a slightly better turn. Arkyn gets 9 points to 32. Martin gets up to 66.
I know I sniped the greens and he just slipped on.
Meanwhile, we have some good action in the other match. Miro and MK64 are playing a really close one.
Welcome to Mario Kart. Mario Grand Prix. Select your player.
How are you, Simon?
Go. Select match.
Simon!
We don't know.
Okay.
No.
What?
Moms.
Oh, yeah.
Start it up.
Oh, we go to that.
Oh yeah, we go to that one.
So we're gonna go to Special Cup as the third cup and then come back to Star. Pretty good, Simon. DK's Jungle Parkway. Early red shell as Arkyn takes first. Ramp can get a little tricky, but both of them do make the jump just okay as Arkyn hits Martin with a second. So Martin's got some catching up here. Which he's certainly very capable of doing as he's climbed back to third. He's got a bolt now. He's going to go ahead and use the bolt right away. Now, that's okay. He avoided any kind of red shells here, but the cave is going to be a little interesting. Martin does get out of the cave before the red shell can arrive. Martin is gonna stay back and fire green. It does not connect, but it was a nice try. Arkyn still has a red. He falls back to third as Bowser looks to be trying to chase Arkyn. Got two reds and a bolt for Arkyn. Pretty sizable lead by Martin, though. As he completes it relatively quickly, he gets bolted just barely onto the grass. The natives are unforgiving with those coconuts.
Yeah, I mean, good. Nice job.
Oh, I'm ready to first.
Martin in a pretty good spot. He It's gonna be a close match for second here. Fake item and banana connect. Looks like Arkyn does beat Bowser to get 6 points. So Martin with 66 plus 9. Arkyn gets 6 more, 75-38.
You did that? Actually, start that.
I mean, that was like the one.
It doesn't count, right?
Swoosh.
Squished.
This is the actual tournament, which is excellent. Yeah, so we can't just throw people in, but we can definitely, you guys, why you don't win there about that,
All right, we're wrapping up the first lap. As the players have to catch up a little bit with the AI on this one. A lot of green shells flying around the maze. Typically in multiplayer, the players will usually go the right path rather than the left because it's just the safer, more reliable path. And Arkyn goes for a jump in the back. Arkyn's just going to go all the way around. A little safer. We're getting to the end of the first lap as it appears that Martin is in second place ahead of DK. Final lap now. Some mushrooms for Arkyn to try to come back, but he's a little behind.
Beanie's here.
Red shells. Bolt a little late to stop Martin from getting in. Yoshi does finish first. Running a, pretty well there. Martin is going to get 8 points, or 6 points, sorry, and go up to 81 points. And then Arkyn looks to be, looks like he's not going to get anything. He's just going to finish third here, or 15th.
It's not a micro, it's going to be a huge hard start.
Oh, let's see.
8138, 6 tracks to go. Banshee Boardwalk, Rainbow Road, and then start up.
This one I'm getting. This one I'm getting dead last.
Whoa, flying jump for Arkyn. He flew 30 feet in the air there on the start. Martin's gonna hold back and try to get a better item. A star isn't necessarily gonna get him back, but Arkyn did fall, and he does have some reds here. Martin's back in 6th. Another dunk in the cold lake here. Lightning bolt. Martin is coming back. He's right back in 4th, 3rd. Looks like he was fine all along. He's still got 1 red shell in 1st place. Arkyn activates a star to try to make up some ground. He's also got a bolt. He's going to go ahead and use it here. Martin's fall puts him back to 4th, back to 3rd. Dangerous green shell, but he does avoid it. Ooh, that could have been an interesting bolt spot actually. But Arkyn does hold on to it. So Martin does not fall into the water. It is a little more challenging as I look at the TV.
You got it, Justin?
With a little bit of glare on this TV, Banshee Boardwalk definitely adds. There's a little bit more challenge. Martin hits himself with green shells. He does not fall off. There are tons of bananas everywhere. This bolt does knock Martin off, like the previous one. He falls back to 3rd.
What part is that?
A lot of Banshee Boardwalk is about survival, and If you fall off a few times, I mean, that may... If one person never falls off, the other does. Once, I mean, that could be it sometimes for points. Martine's gonna get 6 points and get up to 87.
Anywhere else I'd rather back there.
Yeah.
Finish it back. You can go to camp. You can sit down and speak. Okay. Man! I don't even. Yeah, you're pointing at you, brother. Dustin, did you get me N64 yet? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Got a close match going on the other stream now with FX64 versus Muro.
Let me know if this is okay.
Jesse K, and the Space Cowboy, has been commentating the other one, but Catalyst is on mic on that match now. It's 87-38. Martine has this pretty much wrapped up. There's only 6 tracks left. So, of course, we expect that. Martine has been playing all the time, really, since the release on Nintendo Switch back in October of 2021. One of the most active players. He has certainly shown that he's a consistent player that knows items very well. Rainbow Road is the longest track in Mario Kart. Well, all of Mario Kart, really. Interestingly, unlike most Rainbow Roads, the Mario Kart 64 Rainbow Road, with few exceptions, is not a place you can generally fall off. If someone were to shell a player and they fall off, that could cost them 15 seconds because the road is way, way above where Lakitu would pick up anyone.
Come on. That's my favorite track. Oh my gosh.
Martine in first place at the end of the first lap. It's a close second, third there for Arkyn, who's hoping to get some points here. The other place you could fall off is this big jump. Arkyn does manage to not fall off in that, but it is a kind of a dangerous spot if you don't control your speed and your angle. Oh, a big red shell there as Martine is just holding back just the shell. Whoa, what is this jump? Whoa. Wow, that was a very interesting one. Someone should clip that. Martine pushes Arkyn on a shell all the way back to the bottom of the spiral, and that landed. Certainly one of them. Certainly the highlight of the match so far.
That's ridiculous.
Definitely. Simon calls it a dirty classic Martine move. Martine laughed.
I don't get out.
Alright, okay.
Second.
That's good.
Final lap. Arkyn does get back to 5th after a tough shell situation where it got put back. But he still has time to come back.
I need to be like second.
Arkyn says he needs a good second. He definitely still has time. He's going to need some items and some good driving. Martin's going to go ahead and hit DK with a backward green. But overall, he's just driving the best he can, putting on some traps and pushing ahead. We're playing outside. It's pretty windy out here. We're actually under a few tents, so we have some tables set up. And we are playing on a wired setup outside. Some bad. Oh, that was close, but Arkyn does stay in. Arcade with a string of bananas. Some triple shrooms for Arkyn to try to come back. DK might still take second, man. It's gonna. The red shell is a little too late. Martin gets all 9 points. Arkyn with 3.
I would have got second.
Guess that was it.
Star Cup is last. Meanwhile, we've got a sponsor, Dino Outdoor and Camping Goods, the sponsor of CampKart.
Mario Kart. Mario Grand Prix. Select your place.
It's really getting a lead on.
Select map.
These ones?
Hey, who's handling so much water?
Why'd you just look up? Ours? The first what? Yeah, put it on the table on the bicep.
So they put the wrong cup. They're gonna go and actually get to Star Cup here.
Welcome to Mario Kart. Mario Grand Prix. Select your place. Go. Select your place. Go. Yahoo! Select map.
You bought them? You're talking.
All right, some switching characters that keep things interesting here. Up top with Martin, we've actually got Toad rather than our typical Peach.
Peach feels
Taking a dab. Holding the blue shell early here. That's what Martin's doing. Early mushroom for Arkyn.
so bad. Where'd you?
And with that, Martin with the lead. He's also got a golden shroom, so he's going to try to take a bigger lead here. Red shell is not the best spot there. But it's not that big of a lead as Martin's lead diminishes after the wall hit. It's close for first and second and third as Luigi decides to throw a banana that almost gets to Martin. Spin out with the banana. Good placement by Martin. Martin getting a bigger lead after a green shell hit. for Arkyn. Another wall hit keeps Martin from completely pulling away, but he does have a several second lead here. No idea what happened to Mario. It looked like Mario is way behind. He must have fallen down the gap or something. Martin up by something like 4 seconds on Arkyn, who is still very much in the race. The boo does not get used before the bolt, so Arkyn's going to make up a little bit of ground here. Oh, with that crash, Arkyn takes the lead. Martin still has the boo. Martin does not use the boo and gets hit by the reds. And gets hit by a second and a third. But another spin out for Arkyn, and then a wall hit. And then suddenly Luigi has the lead over both. Martin did take back first place. He finally uses the ghost on the jump. Certainly the AI does not care necessarily, and sometimes will ramp shot off the ramp. I have seen it before. First and second, Martin with 9 more points to 105. Arkyn with 6 points to 47, 105-47.
Seven? What the heck? Oh, I hate this.
We're early on in Sherbet Land as Martin took an early tumble. Arkyn with the early lead. He's been chasing that first place for a little while, so let's see if he can get it. The thing with this game is, in Grand Prix, a lot of the pace is really set by your opponent because of the rubber band AI. So if someone's really fast, as Martin came back, Arkyn with a
Super hit.
Arkyn with a big fall there and falls quite a bit behind here. Martin is just holding back, trying to get some better items. Gets knocked by Bowser.
This I get 5 stars in a row.
Martin at this point is just having fun with some of these items, just kind of see what he can do. He's got some reds, he's holding, he still got first place anyway. He does get hit by the blue shell and then knocks Wario into the wall. And he manages to not spin out with the penguin, which is a pretty good use of R there. He's going to just hang back and just hit. Martin has won at this point, so he's just having fun with those items. What can you do? What kind of items can you get when you're not in first place? Thing is, he still has the skill to catch up on the actual driving. So he's going to go ahead and get first place anyway. Martin with 114.
Yeah, but I.
Just briefly show the bracket again. We've got some other matches going on. Miro FF64 is on the other channel. Space Cowboy versus Space Cowboy 13.
Might be Gonzalo.
Royal Raceway, one of the 3 raceways and the final raceway of Mario Kart 64. The unique thing at the time, of course, was they had a castle on the side of the road from Super Mario 64. You can kind of drive around it. You can't actually go in it, but that is also where the award ceremony is. Arkyn with the early, but not a big lead, as Martin is again having fun with red shells and items, and actually fell off the track for a moment there.
That was the best thing. I got stuck stiff.
Hello, Gray. How are you? Arkyn in first place, racing pretty well. The cup order has been Mushroom, Flower, Special, and Star. This is a total of all points that are collected in the Grand Prix tracks. The winner advances in the double elimination tournament bracket. This is an in-person event, so this is held in Missouri. I'm doing well, although my camera setup here is not always stable, but doing pretty well. Arkyn is still hoping for that first place. Martin's pace has really been pushing some computers faster, which has cost Arkyn some points. Although he's going to fall here, and that's a pretty big fall because it takes a little while for Lakitu to come back. Martin's going to go ahead and use the Star as he tries to take the absolute shortest path over those hills. Got some reds. Yes, I'm doing well. We're holding this event right now. This is an outdoor meet, so it's all played on the Nintendo Switch. So you can kind of see that a little bit at the bottom with the start button and all that. This is outdoors, so we're feeling the wind outside. Martin gets all the points, 9 points here, as we head into Bowser's Castle. Arkyn does not finish in the top 4 here, after otherwise driving pretty well for most of it. Again, I'll show the bracket after this, but we've got a lot of action here. 16 players, double elimination Grand Prix bracket. Arkyn gets smashed by the Thwomp, and then spins out into another one. Martin is himself running into Thwomps as well, as we are off to a Bowser's Castle start. What can we say, right? Tons of spin outs here. Both drivers struggling early on what is probably the most challenging of the multiplayer tracks. certainly one of the most challenging along a Banshee boardwalk. Early, well, immediate bolt, I should say, for Martin. Both of them are just trying to come back here. Big red shell hit on Arkyn, drops him back to 7th. Martin does get through that section this time. The reds do not connect. He cancels out the banana and does get over the bridge safely. Meanwhile, Arkyn is trying to get to the bridge. He does get past. He spins out again, though. These 150cc spinouts are nasty. If you have them in the wrong spot, it could knock you off. Really cost you. As Arkyn falls into the lava, Martin seems to have gotten his grip settled through that second lap as we go into the final lap.
Sorry.
I think I did like 6, and I think there's 8 on that right now.
Is that Jesse's?
Yeah. Red shell over the item boxes as Martin still does have a lead, a narrow lead. Arkyn feeling the effect of the thwomps on this track. Martin just having fun here, seeing if he can still win. And he still wins. He's going to finish with 132 points, a solid round for Martin. An exciting NASCAR.
Connects the shell.
seen this. I like you already.
Yo, I love it. It's nuts. Now that the house
Showing live there on the, which is currently live on Space Cowboy Games FX64 versus Miro. First round match is a really tight one, 94-89.
Moore really needs to make Felix fall off if he wants to take this W. And as it is first round, whoever loses this round is going to the loser's bracket. We're doing a double elimination format. Hey Simon, how you doing? Connects the green shell. It seems the AI are pretty far away. Make a difference. Will be enough? It is not, but it is a 2-point difference, and that's a GG.
FX pulls it out. It's like
98, 100.
What the result?
2-point difference.
I knew it was gonna be
98 to 100. 98 to 100.
Who won?
You did. GG, gentlemen. It was a very close game.
Hey Felix, tell him you're garbage compared to me. Oh my god. Joseph, Felix, Joseph.
This is crazy.
From Canada. I don't think that translates the name of the garbage here.
No.
Sounds good. I'll be playing next. Okay.
Take your time though. I got a couple things to kind of tinker with. So.
Okay.
Do what you gotta do to win.
Perfect. So we're gonna be tinkering with some settings, guys. I'm the one next. I'll be seeing you on camera in a bit.
Yeah, I might just keep the stream rolling. If it gets worse, if it gets like 2 seconds, then I'll just stop it, and hopefully that kind of refreshes the stream. This is my that's my logic. I don't know if it's
All right, so we think our next match is going to be N64 versus Bank Trill.
Recording a shadow operation. You seen my bank account statement?
So we've got FX64 advancing. We're going to put in the result from Arkyn versus Arkyn.
I'm not drinking even either. I would want all the trophies here. Yeah. You're gonna get Canadian money.